Hey guys, Paul here, building out a 23 Sprinter van, and just looking to share videos on things that I find unique. Sitting in a JMG next gen swivel chair that I put behind the driver's seat, and I think Nomadic. He's got a really nice video on this install. There's not much I could add different than what he showed me in his video. But there's one thing I did want to show, and it has to do with the floor. So in my cargo van order, it came with this factory floor. You can see it here kind of cut away. It's a plastic floor, really handy until you're ready to actually install the floor. Just because I didn't have to put a temporary floor down. I can wait on the subfloor. I'm actually doing 3/4 inch bamboo plywood as the subfloor and the finished floor. So I'll do another video on that. But the thing I wanted to show was, if you do have one of these factory floors and you're doing these seats, I really liked how this turned out in terms of cutting the base of the seat into the floor, because when it comes time to do a subfloor, or in my case, the subfloor finished floor combo, this factory floor, before I throw it away, is really going to be a great template for that plywood. And if I took the factory floor out to install the seat, then I'd have to do temporary floor until I get the flooring that I want, and I wouldn't have this perfect template to fit around the base of this JMG Captain Swivel chair. So I found my measurements very similar to what the JMG directions were, and also what Nomadic says. I'll show you under the van here in a second, because there's one more thing I want to point out about the gas tank drop. Okay, I'm under the van now, and you can see the U-bracket. Two of these actually came with my one seat. The second one was very handy because I used it to mark the second hole from the top. This is the hole I started with. Very similar to Nomadic. I'm at the second cross brace behind where the fuel filler hose goes up, right? So one cross brace, two cross brace, and then I found the first flat spot. This is just how he did his, right? And you do have to drop the gas tank. It's much easier than I feared. Basically, there's 6 of these. I ran the tank down to about 2 gallons. I was able to just drop that by myself, and I put a couple of packing kind of crates, those big plastic crates, under the gas tank. JMG says you only need about 2 to 3 inches of space with the gas tank. I found, like Nomadic, that I really needed more, like 5. He fit his hand in here. I needed that too. Maybe somebody at JMG knows how to solve the puzzle of getting that in. There's some what I think are brake lines, maybe. You see those? Those are rigid. And then you've got this wiring harness that's next to it. And those brake lines are really in the way when you're trying to get this bracket in. And so you need as much space as possible if you're not going to damage those. But other than that, yep, I did the same thing. That guy that you can't see because it's up underneath the tank looks just like that one. Had a little bit of a scare because that was the first drill hole I tried, and my drill bit kind of came down, and I was really worried that I maybe contacted the tank. Thank goodness I didn't. Just being extra cautious. So yeah, 5 inches. You're going to need at least that, unless you're a genius about how to get that U-bracket in around those rigid brake lines. Oh, and then last thing I wanted to show you was just how to cut through this floor, right? So my point was, this is going to make a fantastic template to cut my subfloor finished floor combo. When I tried to use a a packing knife, it wouldn't perforate this top skin very easily. And so what I tried was setting my circular saw at a depth that I knew wouldn't get down to the second skin. It would just puncture this first one. And therefore I knew I wasn't going to actually mar up the floor of the van floor, or worse, puncture it. And once that top, the top, I guess, top of the cell of that temporary van floor was scored with the circular saw, then I was actually able to cut through the bottom one with the packing knife and just basically lift that square out. Worked really well. Last thing on just the location of the seat, I'm going to have bed front to back, then 32-inch shower bath or shower toilet combo there. And so I didn't want to push this too far back. What I ended up going with is, I think JMG's recommendation is 15 inches from the back of the driver's chair to the front of this seat. Because the seat travels, the JMG instructions don't say whether that's 15 inches with it fully forward or 15 inches with it back. I ended up just experimenting with the seat just sitting on the floor, uninstalled, and I split the difference. So when I have the seat fully forward, it's 12 inches from the back of the driver's seat, and when I have it fully back on those tracks, it's 18 inches. So that's a 6-inch travel that mechanism has. And so the middle of that setting is the 15 inches. And even at 12 inches, I'm 5'10" and a half-ish. At 12 inches, there's still plenty of leg room. You just can't stretch your legs out quite as much. So I wanted to share the front to back. The side to side is fairly dictated by the placement of the chassis rail. You can see there are 3 different places where you could set it, but just like Nomadic, I played around with how to swivel the seat around, and in that middle setting, it swivels well. You might have to tilt the seat up, and I kind of figured that I would have a little more thickness on the wall with the finished wall pieces in place. Overall, really happy with the JMG. This is the next gen 20-inch captain's chair. Very comfortable, not quite, but not too far off from the factory Mercedes captain's chairs.